Hi ladies, welcome to Summer Love Day 16. Have you been on a date where a guy can't stop talking and you're like, oh my gosh, why is he telling me what he does, the money he makes, the toys he's accumulated, the position he's in, and it almost feels like you're sitting with someone who's super arrogant or even a narcissist on that date and you're kind of like, oh, I need to get out of here, or I'm so bored, or why is he even telling me any of this? So here's something I want you to know about men. That is him peacocking, meaning he is doing his best in the most awkward way to show and impress you, to prove he's worth you picking him. Meaning he knows that he's up against a lot of other men and he has to show that he's worth you choosing him. And that's what it looks like. So back in the day, go way back in time, men would be those hunters, right? They'd be the hunters, they would be producing, they would go and gather like a big animal or something to show these women of the tribe, like, look how strong I am, look how I can provide for you, look what I'm capable of. So fast forward now in the modern dating world, we don't do that. However, that instinct, that DNA in a man to still prove himself shows up in the way he communicates his accolades, what he's accomplished in his life. And he's hoping unconsciously that you'll see value in how he can provide and produce for you and make you happy. As a woman, because we're all about connecting, we connect by talking, we connect by sharing, we just hear him telling. Talk, 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 right? He's telling rather than this feeling of sharing. And because he's probably not asking a lot of questions, he's not really getting curious about you, he might be all about him, it feels like a very disconnected interaction. And as a woman, we'll be like, this isn't going anywhere. I don't feel chemistry. I don't feel anything for this guy. And it's because his way of showing how great he is actually not resonates with you. So a couple things on these dates. Really give yourself permission to just lean back and acknowledge and think in your head, oh, he's peacocking right now. He's trying to impress me with everything he's accumulated. Second, try to interrupt. It sounds odd because as women, we don't naturally do that. But you might interrupt and be like, oh, I've been on that trip before, or this is what I experienced, or have I mentioned this? That can also help take him out of that peacocking state, right? The second thing is you want to think, okay, date 1, date 2, that's what he's doing. Give yourself at least 2 or 3 dates to really get a sense of what he's about. Because the other thing will happen is if a guy's really nervous, which usually high quality men that aren't dating a lot, are unfamiliar with this, will tend to talk a lot about themselves. It's like how they feel the space. And so that nervous energy can also be a turnoff for a woman. And we can almost feel it and it feels uncomfortable and we're almost like, oh, I'm not sure if I'm feeling it. And it's because his energy is so anxious or nervous, and then he keeps talking about himself. So I challenge you ladies, if you have any inclination that maybe he's cute or maybe there might be something there, give him at least 2 or 3 dates. That will help calm that time down. Plus, like I was saying last time, how to create a better chemistry or a better connection on a date is try to avoid that sitting right in front of each other. Avoid that interview style. And that'll also help break up that peacocking experience because now the energy is more out and about and you're using the activity. Maybe you're going to that game, a baseball game, or maybe even going to like an arcade center where you're playing a game and you're having that fun bantering energy. That'll help break that up. So kind of give it a feel. The other part to this is, how do you feel, right? Here's the thing, as women, we start to get into our head and we start analyzing. Do I have a connection? What do I feel about it? He said he works on weekends. I really want to be hiking on the weekend. That means that this isn't going to work. We start analyzing and seeing where he slots into what we're looking for. And we miss how we actually are feeling because we're so concerned of that list I was talking about prior of like, does he fit and check off what I want? But I challenge you, really get into your body. Allow yourself to stay present and start noticing how do you feel because that's going to be more important than what he says. I know it sounds kind of odd, but really you want to know, what does it feel like to be with him? Are you laughing? Is it light? Is it got a sense of flow to it? And you won't know that on the first or maybe even the second date. It typically takes a few times with him to really get a sensation of it. So even after the date, go home and then think about it rather than in the date and start analyzing because that'll break the disconnection, right? So go home, feel into the body, see what you thought. Is there something there that you're curious and you want to explore more of? And remember, it's going to take that 2 or 3, even 4th date to really get a sense of if he's someone you want to continue dating and see. Love to hear your thoughts, ladies. Share them down below, and I will see you next week. Talk to you then.